Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. My name is John Shipley. I am your host and beat reporter, and I have been your beat reporter covering the Jacksonville Jaguars for OnSI every single day since August 2019, and we are continuing to move forward through yet another offseason together. All right, folks, welcome to today's episode of the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. My name is John Shipley. Today, we are talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars and Kenneth Walker. The Jacksonville Jaguars haven't been connected to Kenneth Walker for, the lead up really to the free agency process. Obviously, free agency starts in less than a week. That changed on Wednesday with, as you guys, anybody who's listening to the show knows, one of the national reporters I respect the most as a reporter, as a professional, as somebody, I just hold in high esteem, but not just that, but as somebody with Jaguars connections. Jonathan Jones of CBS Sports. He pointed out the Jaguars as a potential team to watch for Kenneth Walker when he hits the market. And I don't think anybody is really, I'll say this, I don't think anybody other than Gus Logue, my close friend, has really said Walker makes sense for the Jaguars for a number of reasons. Of course, the price tag. Of course, he's going to come in and higher than Travis Etienne, but also the fact that Travis Etienne exists. Most people think that, or have thought, that the Jaguars are going to give money to a running back. It would be Travis Etienne. He's the guy they know. He's the guy who has produced for them over the years, and I think most people have just put two and two together. But Jonathan Jones made a fascinating, point in his latest mailbag. He said that specifically to Walker, it has been noted above he's probably out of the Chiefs' price range. Denver could be the place for him as Bo Nix continues on his rookie deal. One other place I could see him in is Jacksonville. The Jaguars are parting with Etienne and are happy of Bashal Tootin. But general manager James Gladstone has shown in just a year that he will always be aggressive when it comes to roster building. Now, I don't think Jones would put that out for no reason. I don't think he would put it out. It's just merely connecting dots. Where there is smoke, and a lot of times there is, if not fire, and at least the semblance of fire, or at least fire soon to come. It's just, for me, looking at Kenneth Walker and his skill set and what the Jaguars are losing with ETN, it's hard for me to come to terms with him making sense as the Jaguars' bold move of the offseason. I think the Jaguars should make a bold move this offseason. Whether that's signing a leading guy out of position, there aren't many in this free agency cycle who are very enticing, but so have it. Whether it's trading picks for a top player, specifically on defense, whatever it is, I think the Jaguars should make an all-in move. Swing for the fences. Your Super Bowl window is open. You're not going to ruin it with any one move, contrary to belief. The Jaguars have a chance to take a massive leap in ascension. They should explore every possible avenue toward taking that leap in extension. But Walker, to me, both from a fit and price perspective, it's just a bit too rich. It's just a bit off for me. I think overall, Walker's obviously a talented player. He's obviously been very productive. To me, though, a few things. One, the reliability, of course. I mean, he's battled injuries throughout his career. He's somebody who, Seattle has really had one of the top, I'd say, backup running backs in the NFL in Charbonnet, just because Charbonnet has had to be used really as often as he's did. Walker played in all 17 games this season, but he missed 6 games in 2024, missed 4 games in his first 2 seasons. So between his first 3 seasons, he missed 10 games. And then last year, despite appearing in all 17 games, and despite starting all 17 games, he only played 47% of the snaps. He's never played more than 64% of them. So the notion of him really as a lead back, it hasn't really been shown and proven, in my opinion. He's clearly a very, very talented player. The Seahawks would clearly be hurting if they lose him, but let's be honest. Kenneth Walker played his best football at the right time. Kenneth Walker had his best games of the year in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, as opposed to having them in weeks 1, 2, 3, or 4. And as a result, he's going to benefit from that. And he should. He's earned that right. But if the Jaguars are looking to replace Etienne's production, I think that you're looking for a running back one. I think that you're keeping Bashal Tuden as the number 2 running back if you're looking to add a top dollar veteran name like Kenneth Walker. Do the Jaguars need to pay $12, $13, $14, $15 million a year to find that replacement and to replace that production you're losing in Etienne? I don't necessarily think so. If the Jaguars aren't willing to pay Etienne and then they went and paid Kenneth Walker, the only logical explanation that possibly could be had was that they simply deem Walker to be a vastly better player than Etienne. And if that's their evaluation, that's fair. That's their prerogative. I just don't know if the numbers have reflected that. Walker's obviously a tantalizing talent. He's a walking, big play, a home run threat. His production and Etienne's aren't very far away, and Etienne's been more productive as a pass catcher. So I don't think this is signing a Derrick Henry or signing a Saquon Barkley, like elite blue chip talents at the running back position. And I'm a big fan of Kenneth Walker. I think he's really talented. I don't think he's in that same breath. I don't think that looking at him and his profile and what he's done in the NFL, that you're signing, a top 3 or 4 running back like the Ravens did when they signed Henry and like the Eagles did when they signed Barkley. If you're going to reset the running back market for those guys, that's still a tough, pill to swallow, I think, but it's easier to digest at least. Walker, I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's like, if I had to pick out of all the available running backs today, like in a draft, I'm taking Walker before Etienne. Am I taking him that many picks before? That I'm not so sure about. And Etienne, for as good of a season as he had last year, over 1,000 yards rushing, improved as a pass catcher, the running game was bad at the end of the year. It declined. He didn't look like the guy who could go out there and efficiently get you rushing yards no matter blocking each and every game. There aren't a lot of guys like that, obviously, but there are more and more. They're available. Do I think Walker is a ready-to-go, bona fide number 1 running back who can be a workhorse and tote the rock hundreds and hundreds of times and for you to base your offense off of? I'm skeptical. I think he is too close to Etienne's talent level and Etienne's production to pay him significantly more than Etienne. Now, with that said, the Jaguars, to their credit, reportedly Liam Cohen wanted RJ Harvey. I firmly believe that they would have drafted Ashton Genty with the number 5 pick if they didn't make the Travis Hunter trade. I mean, Liam Cohen's been plotting for a while to get a guy who can, I think, be the focal point of his running game, who isn't Travis Etienne. And I think Etienne, for as much as they appreciated what he did last season, I'm not sure if there's anything he could have done to really change that fact, that he just isn't necessarily their guy. And ultimately has not been somebody who they wanted to marry themselves to long term. And I get that, but is Walker that much better? I have serious questions. I do, and I understand taking a big swing, but I don't think Kenneth Walker should be that swing.